Have you ever served on a team? Whether it was a volunteer team or maybe it was a place where you worked, maybe it was there at your church, maybe it was in another organization. And after a period of time, you realized that the leader just did not have a plan. And do you remember what that felt like as a follower, showing up every day to work or showing up every week to volunteer and really not ever knowing if your team was winning, whether you're losing, were you accomplishing what you were supposed to accomplish? And maybe it just kind of felt like you were just busy doing activity with no real direction or no real purpose at all. Well, that's why leaders have to have a clear plan. That's why churches have to have a clear plan. That's why organizations have to have a clear plan. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why every organization needs to have a clear plan. And then I'm going to give you, if you're part of an organization that doesn't have a plan, or maybe it intimidates you to have a plan, I'm going to give you a simple place you can start if you've not ever developed a real clear strategy plan. The first reason every church needs to have a clear plan is that it gives direction. It gives direction. It helps explain the why and the where. I mean, if you think about it practically, it makes great sense, right? Like, none of us would hop in the car and start driving without a real clear direction as to where we're going. If we're getting in the car with somebody else, we're going to ask them, hey, where are we going? And if it's a place we really don't want to go, we're going to say, well, why are we going there? There's no difference in church, right? In church world, in our church ministries, the people that are in the car, if you will, with us, a part of our organization, a part of our church, they actually want to know where the church is going and why is it going that direction. It's a real fair question. And without that direction, it really makes it hard to get people moving that way. And so it's really important as a leader that you set out the direction that God has laid on your heart, and a group of people, hopefully your leadership teams, come together and really had a clear picture of where God is leading you as a leader and the church and the church leadership as a team. It's important. It gives people a direction to go, hey, this is where we're going and this is why we're going there. Now, the second reason why you need a clear plan is that it creates alignment. Hey, when people know where they're going and why they're going there, and they get aligned by that, that is a real powerful force. I don't know, have you ever been on a team that was just clicking and just everything seemed to be going just really, really, really well? I remember years ago, I served on a camp staff. It wasn't a local church staff, and man, this camp staff, yeah, we had our differences as people normally do. But man, when it came to ministry, this team was aligned. I mean, we were clicking on all cylinders. We saw so many boys and girls come to know Christ that summer. It wasn't because of us. It was because we were aligned around the mission. We knew where we were going. We had direction. That direction and that clear plan aligned us and allowed us to work together as a team. And man, when you're a part of something like that, you just desire to have that all the time, that sense of alignment. Think about it. When you watch sports, hey, for a football team to have a successful play, everybody has to have alignment. They have to be lined up right. They have to run the play right. If you listen to a band or you listen to music, everybody has to be on the same page of music. And when they are, it creates alignment and a beautiful melody that we enjoy. Most anything that we do creates alignment, and your church needs alignment. And you get alignment when you have a clear plan. So it takes direction. People want to know where and why we're going there. And when you got a clear direction, then all of a sudden you'll have some alignment. That's part of your plan. That's what you need. And when you have a clear plan, it'll also help you as a leader. Third, it'll help you have better decisions. It'll help you as a leader make better decisions. I bet every Sunday you show up, maybe on Wednesday or maybe sometime during the week, maybe it's a text, maybe it's a call, maybe it's an email, and somebody will say, hey, pastor, hey, minister, hey, brother or sister so-and-so, we ought to be doing this, and this. And there are a lot of great ideas that are probably thrown your way all the time. And I don't know if you feel this way, but sometimes you kind of figure, okay, how do I know what we should be doing? All of these are good things. Like, if you're asking me to choose between being a part of a homeless ministry and a clothing shelter and a food bank and a Great Commission mandate to go to all the parts of the world and X, Y, and Z, all the other ideas out there, I mean, you know, how am I supposed to decide which one of these things or which few of these things are we supposed to do? Well, a clear plan can help you do that. A clear plan can help you make better decisions, smarter decisions, and make them faster. Because you'll say, you know what, this is what our plan is. And while this over here is a great idea, it just doesn't fit within the plan that God's laid on our heart for right now. It also helps you utilize your resources better. The fourth thing is it helps you utilize your resources better. All of us have a scarcity of some type of resource. It might be time, it might be a scarcity of money, people resource. And man, we want to make sure that we're using those resources to the best of our ability. Those resources that God's entrusted to you into your hands as a ministry leader, you want to make sure you use those wisely. When you have a clear plan, it allows you to use the resources that God has given to you better. It helps you put those in the right places, in the areas that matter the most, that will help as God works through you to have a bigger kingdom impact. And then fifth, when you have a clear plan, it motivates the team and it enhances their morale. I've seen this firsthand. When people really understand the plan, it creates great energy inside the organization. You've probably experienced this at some level when maybe a leader that you've worked with or been a part of or follow gets up and shares this plan, this vision for the organization, for the church. And after the meeting, there's a buzz in the room, there's excitement in the room, and it's really all because the leader has now shared what that clear plan is, and all of a sudden there's a great morale and there's great momentum that comes when people really understand what the plan is. Hey, listen, these 5 things, they're just five ways that can really help you think through that clear plan on why it's important. If you're thinking, man, that's a lot of work to develop a clear plan, a good strategy plan, it's hard work. Well, you're right, but wouldn't you all say that as a leader, we would love to give people direction, and we would love to have alignment, and we would love to make better decisions, and we would love to utilize our resources better, and we'd love to have a lot of momentum and enjoy wonderful morale inside of our congregation? Well, a clear plan can do that. The biggest thing that we hear from church leaders as to what prevents them from creating a clear plan is that they just don't know where to start, and they just don't really have the time, and it just feels overwhelming. You know, sometimes it just says, we'll just let God just tell us what to do on a weekly basis. And, actually Christ came here and he had a real clear plan for his own life. The Father gave him a plan. In fact, he says, I've come to finish the work that God sent me here to accomplish. And so if he had a plan, then certainly we want to have a plan too. And if it feels intimidating to think about, let me just give you one place you can start. If you've never created a strategy plan, let me encourage you, just get out a piece of paper and start writing down where you would like the organization, where would you, under God's leadership, where would you sense the church needs to be 6 months from now? And just put it on a piece of paper. And then write down the steps that need to take place for that to happen. That's not anything sophisticated. It's just a simple way to begin the process of thinking and writing down a strategy that you can begin to share with leadership team. Maybe you need to bring your leadership team in the room and just do this one exercise. Don't try to dream 5 years from now or 10 years from now. Just dream 6 months from now. Maybe dream 12 months from now. Ask this question: where do we believe God wants our church to be 6 or 12 months from now? Write it down in one simple statement. And then write down the things that would need to happen for that statement to come true. And that's just a really small place or simple step that you can take to get started on creating a clear plan. Now, we have a lot of resources at Connect Ministries that you may find interesting, and in our book, The Connected Church, we go through a whole strategy planning process that could help your church create a clear plan to help them execute the mission that God's laid on their heart.